Alright guys, so we're back from seeing Star Wars The Force Awakens. This is a follow-up to the first video I did, which was just the first impressions, with no spoilers. This time I went with my buddies, as you can see here. Hey, say hi.
Hey,
yo. Say hi. Yeah.
Star Wars, I feel, should be seen with an audience. It's a pop culture phenomenon, and I felt like this is a better time to give more impressions, a different perspective, because everyone's got different views on the movie. It's very decisive, and a lot of people had a lot of opinions, but these fools decided to wait 10 days after the showing, so I've had to keep my mouth shut. Most of them avoided spoilers, but now let's get their impressions, and we're going to do this a little bit differently because I'm going to pose them a few quid pro quos, a few questions that, a few opinions people have, and let's see who gets rattled, and let's see what people think about it. So, first of all, did you guys enjoy the movie?
Yeah. I mean, we saw it in D-Box, so, you know, in D-Box,
I would love to get into that, but...
that's a whole separate saga. That's the next episode.
So 3D D-Box. How was the experience? How was the experience?
It was
pretty fun.
It was fun, but again, like, because there's not much certain scenes, it's necessary for certain scenes, and because those scenes aren't in there much, it wasn't really necessary for the movie.
Okay.
The movie.
Oh, you mean 3D?
No, not the 3D D-Box.
Oh, I thought it was good. Was good, but
it was
3D
good,
was tagged on.
But it's like there are certain scenes where it's necessary. It would be better on you feel it a hell of a lot more.
Oh yeah, but that's just D-Box. That's every movie. I mean, you don't need D-Box to watch a movie.
True.
Like, I'm never gonna ask some motherfucker from, like, you know, hiring him for minimum wage to shake my seat every time I watch a movie at home. Like, no, I need this every time. Like, please.
Okay, so let me just do this. I'm going to do this in a more interesting way. You've just seen the movie. Give us your first impressions, and I'm going to go back and break it down with you guys. So, you just left the movie. How do you feel about it? You said you enjoyed it, but how do you, just thinking about it,
But
how
not
do you
in
feel
love.
about it?
That's
Alright, you're not in love.
Nobody said they were in love with the movie.
Alright, is that just you, Simon, or do you guys feel the same?
It's not good.
Were you expecting more?
It was very overhyped. I knew it was Star Wars.
The lightsaber, that was it.
Okay, so you're alright, because, you know, people say us British people are kind of stuck up, and you're saying, wasn't expecting much.
I expected
Okay.
a lot less. And it was,
Okay.
To me, it was better than I expected, but it was still alright.
There was a lot of hype behind the movie, you guys know that, right? So did it live up to the hype? Is basically what I'm asking. Did it live up to the
It
hype?
didn't live up to the hype. It was good
Yeah,
as a movie,
yeah.
but it was because it was hyped up because it was Star Wars. That was all it was.
Okay.
Everyone hyped up because it was Star Wars,
I thought
but it
it-
wasn't anything special.
I thought it was very good. I didn't go in there with a lot of expectations, but with an idea of, obviously, like the Force Awakens, it's kind of a bit of a giveaway, really.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not exactly a cryptic title, like Phantom Menace.
I went in there with like certain ideas, which
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good starter movie.
Okay.
Like good starter movie for the next 3 movies.
Okay.
Although it's like episode 7, the starter movie. It's like a little bit late to start when
fucked
episode
up the last
fucking
three.
7.
We're gonna start this
Yeah, but it's almost a generation. It's almost
It's a
a
late
generational
starter.
thing, though, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's funny you're saying that, Ori, because
It's a generational thing.
well, it's funny you're saying that because the fan. Hey, stop laughing.
Yeah, well, truth be told, like, what we did, we watched actually the New Hope this morning, and then we watched Empire Strikes on VHS.
What?
You still got VHS player?
Yeah.
My mum.
Not here at
My mum.
but basically,
I found out
You motherfucking hipster.
I found the trilogy of VHS. If you guys want it, you can have it because I ain't got a VHS player anymore.
My mum's got like the original,
Oh, the original
the version of the Empire Strikes Back,
Which
the
is in-
original, which
Oh,
hasn't been
that's better.
doctored
Yeah,
or
yeah,
in
yeah.
anything.
Oh, yeah, so
It's
it's
the
just
original.
Grady like.
The
yellow opening
it's
as
a
it
retro
starts and
experience.
One thing that's better because you can't get them no more.
Oh, yeah,
George Lucas
and
got rid of
even
them
the
everywhere.
shitty quality adds to the experience. Like the lightsaber, like the red one is orange, but it kind of works. But basically, so we put ourselves in the mood and we went to watch it. So I was really ready to go back to the trilogy universe because the original trilogy and the prequels are very different.
Yeah.
Because the prequels are so over the top, and everybody said they want to go back how the original movies were. And if people are wondering who haven't seen it yet, like, how does this fare? I'm like, yeah, this picks up right where those movies left off, and they do feel exactly the same. The action is more personal and more gritty. It's not as flashy, not that much CG, no crazy stunts from the Jedi. It's very much like the original trilogy, and in terms of visuals, it's amazing because they did everything practical, like old school filmmaking. They didn't use CG if they didn't have to, and I thought the movie looked amazing. And it's almost like a shot-for-shot remake, like the Star Wars had a very memorable opening with a long ship. That's how this movie opens up. Then you had the droids running away from a battle. Well, guess what happens here? And that's basically the whole movie. There's a message in the droid. So the Empire tries to find the droid. There's a girl in trouble, a boy in trouble.
It was following the same plot points as the first movie because Luke Skywalker's on a desert planet. Robots got a message. Fighting a giant Death Star. The movie copied that same template. Did you guys notice that, or did you think?
Yeah, definitely. It's very obvious.
Very difficult.
You got new Vader, and then you got new like General, and then you got new Palpatine, new Emperor.
Yeah.
But did you guys think that big bad guy just looked like Gollum? Like,
Well, it's
Are we getting spoilers, by the way?
this is spoilers.
Andy Serkis was in there.
Yeah, he's doing it.
It's Andy Serkis. Wow.
His name came up in the credits.
Oh, really?
You didn't know that? Yeah, it's him. He's doing the motion capture.
but the thing is, that guy wasn't scary. He's just like a massive sea. The effects on him looked a bit shit.
I was so disappointed he wasn't a giant.
His lightsaber.
This is the dark side. This is what the dark side is. This is it's
Giant Dark Souls motherfucker.
Yeah, I was actually waiting for him to just turn into a transformer or something.
You want a genuinely scary villain? Like a giant would do.
Let me tell you guys the consensus because you guys don't know. You'll find out after this video, obviously. So basically, generally well received. You know, it's made a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's breaking world records. But the fans, the people, are split into two camps. I enjoyed it, but I wasn't. It's just a popcorn movie, or I enjoyed it as a Star Wars movie, but it was predictable. I felt like I've seen this before. And did you guys fall in one of the two camps, or somewhere in between, the mixture of both?
I'm not upset about that. That's what I expected. Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars fan, so it's all win for me, isn't it?
I understand why they did that because they have to make it safe after
Killing Han Solo.
disaster.
Well,
I saw that coming 5 minutes ago.
I didn't see that. I saw when I went that bridge and he walked down and went,
Well, let's see. You got a catwalk. You got a father and son. You got a bottomless pit.
You had Chewie and Han Solo walking to a the two of them walking to a place by themselves, the two oldest characters of the movie, walking to a place, right? And one of them goes, "Let's split up." Come on, it's very clear where that's
what is it if these Death Stars have a long thin platform
with a bottomless pit, But to be fair, there was foreshadowing because
was he walking along there? Like you told, why the fuck was he walking down there? Ben, his name's Ben. Alright, the one they changed his name.
Well, to be fair, Emperor Smoke did say, your father, he basically told him you gotta kill him. He told him, your father, and then, and when he said, Dad, I gotta do something, it's really hard, you gotta help me? yes, son, what is it can I do for you? Die! I mean, was that a surprise?
The sun going out, the light, the red light on the face.
It was quite big, but let me tell you what I didn't like about that. J.J. Abrams said that he didn't want to take it initially because he thought he loves this so much. He couldn't do it justice. So that's basically saying, if I do it, I'm going to play it safe and make a shot-for-shot remake of it. Follow the template perfectly, which he did. And in the first half, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a great thrill ride.
Do you mean with the Ray stuff? With
Just the first half of the movie.
Yeah.
Everything. I love the characters. They have my boy from Attack the Block.
John Boyega.
Yeah, he's a London boy. He's a Peckham boy. He's like a loud.
Brav.
Yeah. and the chick was kind of like thick on the Keira Knightley thing.
People are comparing her.
Yeah.
People call it next Keira Knightley, but I don't think Keira Knightley is a big deal.
So she's the next Keira Knightley, when Keira Knightley first started out, was actually quite good and had
Yeah.
potential.
Yeah,
That's
potential.
where she's at, and she
Yeah.
sounds like her, and she kind of looks like her. as
True,
well.
I agree.
but
Yeah.
basically everybody and everything was good. Even the part that Han Solo just shows up in the movie randomly, I'm like, how lucky is that? In the entire universe, you found your own ship that these guys just found 5 minutes ago.
They
by
should have had
accident.
a claptrap, like, it's like, we're home.
Right, but you know what? People are saying that Harrison Ford, his career recently, he kind of phones his performances. People say this was a great performance. People say it's a good Han Solo
It is a
performance.
great performance, but
For Han Solo.
it's almost wasted. Because here's the thing: he plays it safe, as in J.J. Abrams, for the first half of the movie. You know what's coming, everything's expected.
Mm.
Then it's the big controversial moment. They change up the villain. The villain is young, he's conflicted. He's kind of a pussy. Almost.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bitch.
He's a more vulnerable character. He's
Yeah.
not completely evil. He's not somebody who's like completely evil.
He's
They have
trying to
right.
be. That's annoying thing. He's trying to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
add more
social network. You're not a dick, but you're trying to be.
They're trying to be.
It's even worse.
Yeah.
They can't achieve at that.
They add more complexity into that.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford comes in and suddenly, he just jumped into the movie randomly and everybody's like, oh, he kind of has to be there. And now he has a purpose. That's his son. So this is like the main storyline. And they building it up to this moment. And I realized, because they played it so safe, there was no room for any new story elements in the first half of the movie. It was just a retract with new characters.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have this big character moment. I'm like, it would be really good to see a flashback of them raising this kid.
Yes. Yeah.
Having them as a little boy, playing with them. Because did you try to build up this emotion like, oh, father and son meeting? I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is.
Do you want me to tell you something funny? There's a little bit of what he should have done twist, because the whole I am your father. It's a big Star Wars moment, one of the big moments.
Yeah.
What could have happened? This is a good proposal. I heard this. I got to tell you guys on the video. Basically, what someone proposed was that he somehow finds out his son's actually dead. That someone killed his son.
Yeah.
He never takes off his mask through the movie,
And he finds out.
and then he kills him, and he said, "You killed my son." And he goes, "Ta-da! I am your son." And then he kills him. He was saying that would have been a better twist. I was like, you know what? That would have been awesome.
I am your son. It's like,
Oh shit! Yeah, Eddie. Yeah.
I don't know. I think.
shit.
But that's the thing. If I can be so sappy, the original trilogy built up to a happy ending. That was it. Like
Yeah.
we
Yeah, that
went
fanfare,
through
the celebration.
three. Yeah, we went through 3 movies to have a complete ending where everybody's story's wrapped up, and we came back into
And
this.
it's back the same,
Not only back to the same, but it's kind of like it's that bitterness of
Yeah.
like somebody who's going through a midlife crisis writing a script. Like everybody's life sucks. So the original trilogy, all the troubles they went through to be happy, they just ended up fucked up anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
kind
like,
of pointless.
yeah,
I kind of like that, because that only brings a realism for me, because it's like happy
the
the boy.
realism is life is shit. Like you can be a superhero,
Yeah.
the greatest pilot, a princess, a war hero, all this shit, and your life still sucks. You still fuck up your kids.
Yeah.
You still grow old and die lonely, or killed by your own kid, and it's like I'm like, the original trilogy didn't end on a sappy note. It ended on a full note, and we had 20 years and 3 prequels to come up with a new set of characters, a new universe, without having to go back and ruin everybody's happy ending just to say.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Here we go again. Here we go. The dark side. I'm like, do we have to? I thought, okay, you bring back the original cast, but as mentors, and then they kind of leave instead. Now they're gonna die, each one of them in every movie. You're gonna kill off one of them.
You're gonna please the
Maybe. Leia is such a big. Even Leia's even more loved than, for wrong reasons, than Han Solo.
She sounds like Darth Vader now.
And to be honest, I could criticize her. She was in the movie just 2 or 3 scenes. She didn't do much. No, she's fine, but General Leia just sat there doing nothing. She didn't do nothing.
That's the thing. They're trying to make them, by being the parents of the new villain, as a big deal. But I'm like,
go bring my son home.
yeah, it really shows
Then
that
you're dead.
You wasted time, and now that all the novels and shit isn't even canon, you wasted all this material not showing us the actual story for this movie. It would have been so much better if we would have known these developments and would have seen them raising their son and raising the kid. So there's an emotional bond.
Well, there's going to be more in episode 8. You might see that in
I don't
flashbacks.
understand why this empire wants to destroy everything. I don't understand
Yeah.
why.
Well, let me just say one more thing, because I didn't bring this up when people asked me this in the comments as well. You know, the thing that bothered me right off the bat, as soon as the credits came up and it was about, basically, I thought this movie couldn't be called Episode 7, The Search for Luke Skywalker. Luke has been missing. Luke, I'm like,
Yeah.
Luke, forget about Luke. Where's Luke? Everyone's talking about where's he was searching. I'm like, is this the real plot point? Searching for Luke. Now that's fine, him being the Last Jedi, but I didn't like the fact he was the focal point of the whole movie. And then at the very end, yeah, he cock teased. And people were upset that we see him at the end. I'm like, I knew they were gonna pull that shit anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but I just
Even
thought,
Scotland.
I wish it wasn't about him. I mean, the first thing you see is his name. The searcher search for Luke Skywalker. His name
It's
is
like, why would you search? Why search for him? And why is the Empire want to destroy everything?
Yeah.
What they could have shown is
Yeah.
everything's happy, yeah, from the end of the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And then they show everything's not happy, everything's not great, and people are thinking actually the Empire, whatever, Darth Vader had a point. You know.
That would have been interesting. That would have been interesting.
That would be too much,
Yeah.
for people to.
It's deep. It's deep. It's deep.
It really feels like if you're gonna go from perfect happiness to perfect shitness, you need something in between. Like because they just made 3 prequels, we made this huge jump, and there's so much to explain and so much to experience that you can't, because the first half of the movie is a safe remake of the first Star
The whole
Wars.
films are safe remake.
Well, you know what, guys?
I
Go on,
want
Ori.
to know more about. I want to know more about Rey. I want to know why her family left more. I want to know more about her. I want to know why John Boyega's character Finn suddenly
Defected.
defected
Yeah,
and made this choice. Like,
Well,
They
you know,
said, they
that's-
explained that in the movie though, because they said that he'd been. What was it?
Well,
They say it was his first mission.
They said
He,
it was his first mission.
yeah.
They said that he'd been reprogrammed anyway. They said that he'd been reprogrammed because he had attitude.
But you know, let me jump in and say, good point, because online they said he said all that, but when in the beginning, when he left, when he took the whatever his name was to Poe to escape, he just shot a lot of his mates who were in a similar situation. He killed them. And he left. But there's no sympathy for them. I'm like, that's not really realistic. He said he's scared of fighting all this shit. You just killed a lot of the guys that came up with you. You know what I mean?
I thought the explanation is gonna be that the Force awakened in him. So
that's what I was thinking.
he breaks mind control with the.
I don't like.
That's what I was thinking.
Or
Because, because for me, it didn't clash. Like, I got it about. I thought that they were again, like I was talking to my brother about this. I thought they were going to represent the twin element, which has been obviously mentioned in like the Clone Wars, even though they're not necessarily related.
Yeah.
But it was going to be almost like a fresh take or a new take on this idea of like two twin type people, 2 people effectively being Jedis and choosing the sides. You know, whether it's the
What's the
dark
both
side or the
awakening
Jedi,
and then
whatever.
getting all together?
Yeah.
That's what I thought, because I honestly thought the interesting twist is that he's a stormtrooper, and he's made this decision, and I almost always felt that stormtroopers were supposed to be almost like the Borgs.
Yeah.
They're supposed to operate under like one unit.
Yeah.
So the fact that he makes this decision, it's like
They're not clones anymore, are they?
Yeah. No, they are clones, and they are. Yeah.
They 10 kids.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no prequels at this point anyway.
Unfortunately, we can't write it.
Well, you know, guys, we've been shitting on it a bit. Let's talk about some of the positive things, which I want to speak about the cast, because I think the acting on the whole is very, very, very good.
Fuck, this was shit, bro.
I just think you said a lot of the things you said that they missed out with the whole Origins. I suppose that's their way of making sure that they can go on to make more stuff about it. It's the same way in like the prequels they missed out a shitload of things. Like how the development of Anakin's darker side doesn't really cut it in the third one. A lot of people in the Revenge of the Sith, they said his development of his darker side didn't really make it. they put that into the cartoon series so they can make more money. I'm sure that's probably what they're working up to with these ones.
Okay, I'm just saying, like, this is the. I'm not even a huge Star Wars fan. Like, I saw it as a kid.
You gotta get to the positives, guys. Go on.
It's not gonna be positive.
Star Wars is negative all the time. So
No, I'm negative too, but I don't want to just shit on the movie. Yeah.
I was positive. I was more positive than all these fuckers.
Positive.
That's bullshit.
Bullshit.
No, I was positive, but
In a
then
sarcastic way.
but the sarcastic way, yeah, like I'm your sarcastic, yeah. But when they killed Han Solo, I was like, this could have been so much worse. You killed off somebody for no good reason other than just a shock value. Like, we need to bring back the old guy, but we need to get rid of him. So this is your time to die.
I don't think it's more like bringing it back. It's more passing it on.
Yeah, that too.
But then pass it on instead of assuming we're gonna have emotion for two characters who never shared a scene together. Like, that's the first scene they share in the movie. They didn't even have a conversation before. So I'm like,
what's this, sir?
Ben Solo and Han Solo.
If you were to show them at least just do something together, maybe there would be more emotion. But here, the only emotion is, you just killed off one of my childhood heroes, and
Someone got on your side.
That was me.
It was you.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna happen, but I was still like, no! You know how a John Wick was like, no! I was like, no! And he was like,
that took it down for me. But you guys can suck J.J. Abrams' dick now.
Oh, hold on. No, that's not fair. That's not fair. Let me.
You know what? Yeah, you need to have to appreciate sadness or someone's angry or whatever. You got to show them when they're happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if someone's happy, and then you see them sad and angry, you know something's wrong. If they're always upset and angry, it makes that difference.
Yeah.
But if you see someone's always light and happy, and then something happens, they slowly decline into the sadness. And you see, it's like yin and yang, isn't it? You need to show those contrasts.
Yeah.
And but that wasn't really. It was here because that Finn guy, he was funny.
Yeah.
That's what the prequel's gonna have. It wasn't funny.
Well, let me get. We need to talk about the positives, guys. Come on. So let's talk about the things we liked.
I thought the film was good.
Sorry? Sorry?
You said earlier about the cast. You mentioned it
Oh,
earlier.
Yeah, we're saying let's talk about the cast because I thought the cast was the best thing
Yeah.
about. They were really good. I think they really acted well.
Yeah, great chemistry between everybody.
Who was your favourite characters?
Yeah.
John Boyega all the way.
Yeah, I thought he was the best.
I like John Boyega and
Daisy Ridley.
I think that the best thing they've done is to take two relatively unknowns and put them as leads. Like, I think that's one of the major mistakes they made with like the prequels. Like
Liam
getting
Liam Neeson, Natalie Portman, Samuel Jackson.
Getting people more well established, I think that's a big mistake. I think the best way to keep something fresh and revitalised and to keep an audience interested is to, you have like in this movie you have Carrie Fisher and you have Harrison Ford, like these are big names that you associate with the franchise, but then you have in the lead to kind of represent the next generation, you have these two relatively unknown people. And you know, for so many reasons. I mean, I'm biased from the acting perspective anyway, obviously.
Because you're an actor yourself. So you can appreciate that,
I can appreciate that, but I think I love the cast. I really think it's a great cast.
The cast was great though as well, even down to just the pilots as well. Like, the pilots.
Poe was good.
Yeah, he was good.
I liked Poe and Finn. When they met each other again, I was like,
I thought, I hate to be that guy, but I thought.
No, you don't.
Poe, he was hammy as fuck. I thought that.
I think that's what it had to be.
Yeah. He's meant to be the new Solo.
Yeah, but they met for 5 minutes and they're like best buddies.
But he saved him basically.
But he never questioned like you were a stormtrooper. Like they want to fuck each other basically.
The bromance is right off the bat.
Yeah.
They love each other as soon as they meet, which was fun.
liked it.
Don't get me, I kind of agree with you, but he's just a character type. I'm like, as soon as I saw him with the smile, the first thing he says is, should I talk? Should you talk?
Yeah.
Just like kind of, it's like, I got you. I know you're kind of that smarmy 2015 comedy character. I'm fine. The thing I didn't like about him is part of the storyline is like, you know, hey, how'd you come back? Oh, yeah, I got through over here. Like, what the fuck?
That's true.
That was weak. I'm like, that's terrible. That's off screen, whatever. That was whatever.
When he found the link on his jacket and no body, I was like, yeah, no body, no dead.
You knew that, you knew he was coming back though, because he.
Star Wars. You
Yeah.
know the rules of Star Wars. If you don't see a body, then they're not dead. It's
Yeah. And he left so quickly, you knew he had to come back. But it was
And
lazy.
also,
And
so in
that.
the trailer, innit? Flying over some water. I thought I ain't seen that yet.
That scene was
That
that scene where you see the mist and think, like, what is that?
Yeah.
The ship,
The
X-Wing,
X-Wing,
like,
yeah.
Alright, so let's talk about the main lead, Daisy Ridley. She's obviously the main character now. Female lead now. There's a little bit, I wouldn't say controversial. People are like, but it's 2015, so I think it's
I
acceptable.
think it's time to have a female.
I think it's time as well. I do.
She's fine. It's good because she finally like she's continuing on from her grandmother, you know, and her mother, which she's got the same strong genes as her grandmother. You've got Natalie
her
Portman's
grandmother?
character.
Daisy Ridley? Who are you talking about? Who's her
Natalie
grandmother?
Portman's her grandmother, isn't she?
You're making assumptions. You're making assumptions. No, nobody knows that. Nobody knows that.
Padme is Luke's mother, is she
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
And therefore making. Oh, sorry.
But why are you assuming that she's
Sorry,
the
right.
Sorry. You've already got it in your mind that that's the case. You might be right. You might be right. You might be right. We'll see.
You're calling that
What's
she's
going
Luke's
on
daughter.
is like
Just
the
the
storyline I've heard of years ago.
Okay.
Years ago
Same here.
was originally that it was her
Yeah.
and Kylo Ren were actually brother and sister.
Maybe.
And what's happened is one of them turned to the dark side.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to fight each other.
Yeah,
Maybe you're right. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Now,
Oh,
so
okay.
far, you've got the first half of that storyline. 'Cause
True.
Kylo Ren
It's dark.
is dark.
She
is the
was
dark
dropped
side.
off on the
Yeah.
planet. By who?
Oh,
But in the flashback,
Yeah.
We don't know.
Okay,
like,
I thought she's Luke's daughter.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
But that's a bit shit.
But-
They
but
should have just been a girl
but
that was good at the force.
We talked about it on the way here, and again, I'm the negative guy, but I don't like that the Star Wars universe is limited to one family.
neither do I. I hate that. I don't like that.
It's basically this one family. Just kill them all because they
Yeah.
just keep fucking up the universe.
Yeah.
Every time somebody's bored, they're like, kill half the population of the universe, and the other half may
That
or
would've
may
been a
not
film.
stop them.
Yeah.
Well, I watched this twice, and the first time I thought it was Luke that failed, that made Kylo Ren go evil.
Yeah.
But listening to it this time, what Leia said was, I wish I made him train with Luke. So it sounded like he never even got the chance. It sounded like Snoke got him from the beginning. So it sounded like Luke didn't fail him. But then it sounds like he did kill Luke's apprentices. So
Unfortunately, so you got sent off to it.
I've watched it twice, and they haven't made it clear because they're saying two different things. So
Because I thought at one point she said it was when he got sent away that.
yeah, I sent him away, but I should have sent him with Luke.
I thought she.
That's what I thought as well.
She said I should have sent him with Luke, but then Han Solo said that he killed all his apprentices.
Yeah.
So there was a tragedy with his other
Didn't she
Jedi's.
say I shouldn't have sent him with Luke?
Yeah.
Because when I
Yeah.
sent
That's
him
what I
away,
said.
That's why I lost him.
Yeah, that's what I said.
She sent him to Luke to train in isolation with the other Jedi.
Ah, okay.
But he was
yeah,
probably
yeah.
his dad was never there. He was a mama's boy, so now he didn't have his parents, and that's why.
Maybe. But
I'm
either
like,
way, you guys like the main character, the female character.
I like Daisy Ridley. I think
There's one bit of controversy with her that I need to tell you guys about though.
Go on.
People
Come on.
feel that she's been a bit overpowered. Like she knows how to use the Millennium Falcon. She gets the Force very quickly. People said it came very fast.
This
This
is
is
even know what it is.
No,
Like,
I understand that, but
Okay.
the whole point. Okay, this is the other thing.
pick up a lightsaber and then.
And she's replaced Han Solo now as well.
This is the whole represent. The whole
Yeah.
problem is the whole
Yeah,
problem
just
is
wait,
they
just wait.
don't-
Force.
Yeah, exactly. They should beat him. Like,
Wait,
this guy's been training for years.
the
Yeah,
whole problem-
And she's a super pilot,
The
super
whole-
engineer.
Yeah.
Go on, Roy, do you want to say
She
something?
has it all.
the thing is though is I think I like that because to me it plays around. It's not just that though. It plays around the whole idea that women are a bit more naturally intuitive.
Because she's a woman.
Men are. Think of it this way, right? Okay, Leia never got to that point, but she knew
When
in the
Han-
second Star Wars movie out of the original 3, Luke was calling to her and she could feel Luke calling to her.
Yeah,
She didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
She didn't know
Yeah.
they were brother and sister, but she knew where to find him because she was using the Force. That's intuition.
The same
So
way
the
how
fact of
she
the
knew
matter,
when
yeah.
Han Solo died, she
Yeah.
knew the second when they were in this movie.
Yeah.
It flicked to her and she was sat. She had to sit down.
It-
my god,
Wait,
Yeah.
what happened?
Yeah, in the
What
movie.
happened? What?
She knew the second he died
When
in
Han
the
Solo
movie.
died, she knew.
Leia knew that he died.
Well, like I said, it's not
I
a.
was looking at the screen and watching us.
Yeah.
No.
No, she literally sat down so she could feel it.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
I
yeah.
mean, I
No,
know a
I
lot of
don't
people
like
don't
that.
like
I don't-
it.
Well,
But I
okay, but
like
not to the
that.
Don't get me
power
wrong.
side. She doesn't.
I don't mind the Force, but it's like Force and super pilot and super mechanic.
Yeah.
One or two is fine, but not all of them. It's a bit.
Saving my
That's
point.
I
why
like
That's
how
like-
she was good
that's
at
feeling-
flying the aircraft and how good she was with her hands and stuff. That's great.
That
Yeah.
makes
That's
But
no,
they
but
speak
that's no
for-
different
if
than
that's
the
been-
Luke.
That-
Luke did the same thing. He
Yeah,
was really good
exactly.
pilot.
That's true.
Yeah.
But in the first movie, he didn't show. He wasn't good at the Force for until the end of the second one
Yeah,
either.
but
Yeah,
the
but
guy
he
was
had
wounded.
Obi-Wan
and-
to teach him.
No,
about
the
the
thing,
Force.
the
It
flying,
still said
the
nothing.
flying and the engineering, that's because she grew up on the scam.
Yeah, that's fine. You can see
I
that.
like that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, we can see that. That's
She
fine.
shouldn't be like good with the Force
She
about
can do that.
being taught anything. She should be.
Oh, like this is the thing. That the problem is with the movies. It's the same. This is why they've got the cartoon series.
Let's forget about that. Forget about you. Forget about you.
I keep going back to it. The cartoon series
Oh my
has
God, here
all
we
of the
go
cartoon
again.
series has way more.
But you know, this movie series is not that. This series is about fast forwarding, popcorn. You're not gonna. What you're saying is true, but this series is not that. This series, I might be obviously jumping the gun, but this series is about let's get it rolling. Let's get it fast. Let's get it in.
About getting people in, yeah.
Which isn't bad.
Back the old characters give what they love. And
You know what?
yes.
Look, it wasn't terrible. I'm not saying it was terrible.
No.
Okay, there's this parallel between like this the original trilogy and this.
Yeah.
I was watching for okay. Okay, original trilogy, like good versus bad, entire universe is like taken up.
Yeah.
And it's good resolved. Like pretty much all done, right?
Mm.
And then we fast forward like what, 20, 40 years, something like that.
30 years,
A lot
yeah.
of old people are like dead or old, and then you got this girl who's like super proud to do anything.
Mm.
This struck me as Avatar and Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Being came out of nowhere,
No,
she did anything.
you can have people, you can have overpowered characters like superheroes, which is fine. I can accept that, but I'm just like, because she's a female character, because people are going to bitch about it.
Even if it was a
But
man,
you
I'm
don't-
not saying.
Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth.
I
But
like she's a girl. I like that. I want her to be a badass female Jedi, but I want to show her being trained.
you know, there was one scene. There was one scene. This is watching the second time. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And I know the last fight with her and Kylo Ren, when he's got her. The thing I like about, by the way, because I'm gonna get this all out now. The last fight between John Boyega, him and Kylo Ren, the three-sided fight. John Boyega goes first. He can't fight for shit.
Yeah.
He's toying with him. Let me be clear. People say, "Oh no, John Boyega, why? How come John Boyega uses a lightsaber?" If you watch the fight, he's toying with him.
Yeah.
And he gets one clean hit, then he fucks him up and he's out for the rest of the movie. So that's that. When she fights him, she gets thrown out. Then she comes up, obviously. So it's the same with the same with like John Boyega. He's hammering her. She's pushing him back all the way to the edge of the mountain, right in the snow. Then this is the scene I was like, come on. He has her right on the edge, and then she closes her eyes, and then she remembers, and it's like 5 seconds where they got the and she's got her eyes closed. I'm like, are you gonna like push her now? Because you just got her like that. But he's watching her. He's watching her.
the trainer though. Like,
When he said that, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
If he went, let me train you, and she went,
No,
she went, okay, and then tricked him, and then did something.
just
Now
that.
when you think you're a Jedi, the whole point is she's supposed to be the next Jedi.
Yeah, but just that bit where she.
That
No,
defies the
I
whole
said
point.
yes, yeah, and then he puts his lights
No,
on
no, I
and then
just-
goes,
No, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, but that's the whole point.
That's
is-
dastardly. They wouldn't do that. That's
They wouldn't do
dastardly.
that because the whole point of the dark side would do. Some of the Jedi would do that. That's the whole point.
That's why they shouldn't have Sith or Jedi. It should
No, I
just one.
completely agree.
Yeah,
They're
no dark
basically
or
the
good
same
side,
thing
yeah.
anyway. They're
Humans
basically
aren't
the
good or
same side.
bad. Humans have a conscious. conscience. Yeah, that's what makes us human.
Yeah.
You should have those good or bad sides. You're all
You're
good and
talking
bad.
too adult.
Yeah,
This is
like-
Star Wars. You're talking way too complex. You're going too deep now. It's not going to happen that way, man. But all I'm saying was that the funny thing, Simon, you said.
Yeah, they should just arm wrestle, because why be so fucking violent, you know?
That film over the top with.
That's what he did. They need to get Stallone in there. Yeah.
But the funny thing you said, Simon, is that when you said.
Jedi. You should have been the bad guy. You should have been the big lord.
Yeah, what were you
The
saying?
funny thing is, when Simon said they had on the ropes, he said, you need a master. And then she thought of what the woman said to her,
Yeah.
which was, close your eyes.
It's Bush said it's connected to the trees, it's connected to everything.
Yeah.
It's spirituality.
He's the Jedi.
Yeah.
Use the force.
He's the Sith
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah, it's energy,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anyway, so we never.
Out of all the things that bothered me, that didn't bother me. I thought, it makes sense. She's the new generation. She's supposed to be stronger than any Jedi ever was.
She could do everything in there.
And what bothered me more than John Boyega didn't get more shit to do. I mean, come on
I want
now.
more John Boyega.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, that's
I
why.
want him to fight the villain. And
John
she did-
Boyega and Daisy
Yeah.
together, they were the best. I felt.
They gave him more screen time than I thought they would. When he actually got to fight the bad guy, I was like, I'm surprised they gave him that. As a black man as well, I'm not trying not to be racist, but I was like, he had to actually get to fight the last guy. I thought that was.
I thought his friends, he took his friends to the premiere, and his friends were like, I thought you had a cameo. I didn't know you were that big in the.
That's fucked up, man.
I thought you got killed after 5 minutes.
I didn't know you were
I
that.
thought Han Solo would be like a cameo. Like,
Oh, yeah.
So did I. I thought all of them old people would be a cameo.
Well, Luke
yeah.
was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was.
People were pissed because he wasn't on the poster. His name wasn't on IMDb. He's like, what is he gonna do? When I saw that last, I was like, I expected that. I expected that. When they put his name
with the search for Luke Skywalker,
then I knew you're not gonna see him.
He's not going to be in this.
And
movie.
obviously,
Look, Star Wars is cheap in a lot of ways because it starts off telling you the story in the first little bit. So they ain't gonna show you nothing.
yeah.
You just got to read that, and then they can start it off. They ain't gonna show it in the film. You just put it all there, and then you're thinking, all right, let's go. It's an easy way to start a film. But
That's how Star Wars is, though.
That's
It's
how
not-
it is.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
but-
That's fine. But why are we looking for Luke for?
That's what I said. But the thing is, I didn't like, R2D2 hasn't been awake since Luke. So when's he gonna wake up?
Yeah.
When Luke's coming back, obviously, isn't
The
it?
pissed me off the most about that was the fact that when they do the backstory, they're going on about how he Kylo Ren kills off how many of the Jedi apprentices, and so
Just
Luke
like
decides-
Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, and then so what does Luke do? Luke decides to
run away.
back on his people and run off.
Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? Obi.
No, but
It's the same
Obi-Wan had
thing.
an excuse. They said they were waiting for them to grow up so they could train them and then bring them back. Luke, that's not what's going on here. Luke
Well, how do you know that?
back
Because then he can come back and say that, oh, in episode 8, I've been waiting for you. How do you know you won't say that to the girl?
He's trying to become Yoda. Like, it's like,
That's what it's a rehash. It's like a rehash again.
Daisy Ridley carrying him on her back.
Yeah, Christopher, you haven't talked much, but it's
Oh yeah, sorry man. Yeah, you've been.
I bet the whole thing with him going away, killing all his students, maybe he was sent by the dark side, maybe he realised he had
Yeah,
to...
because
now
interesting you
you're
should
writing
say
down
that.
the fucking script.
Interesting you should say that because in the flashbacks of Daisy Ridley, when she could hear the lightsaber calling to her and she touched it, you saw those flashbacks and you saw Luke putting his hand actually
On R2D2.
on R2D2
With a black glove.
That was very
down.
nicely
You
done.
Yeah.
saw her as a kid being grabbed by someone.
Yeah, saying, "You're with me."
You're
Yeah.
with me.
Yeah.
Little girl, be quiet, and all that kind of thing. It was really dark, actually. That for me, that whole section.
One of the best scenes
was
for
really
me.
dark.
One of the
And
best
I
scenes.
And I
thought-
thought when you
idea
saw the
that he
seven
wasn't-
of the Sith or whatever the hell they are, the seven of the what are they called these new the order.
First Order.
The First Order.
Order.
You saw the seven of them in there as well. That's the
Yeah.
other thing that a lot of people seem to forget. You got the main guy who's the villain, Kylo Ren, but he's got 6 other people who's helping him out.
Yeah.
Which is something they
So
haven't
I'm
put-
interested to see what they do with
It
them
is. Well, you could have more. You
and
could have
John
more Jedi.
Boyega's character Finn and
should be interesting
Daisy
to see.
Ridley, which is the reason why I think there's much more is going to be going on. I think there's a reason why they fast-paced the story in the first film.
Yeah.
Because I think it's not really, although there are a lot of parallels and they're setting it up, I do honestly believe that it's going to do a slightly different thing. Than
Well,
the
let me-
original
Well, I hope so, because otherwise I'm
We already know.
asking, what's the original thing?
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. Your boy Simon J.J. Abrams, he's the king of reboots. He did the same to Star Trek, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's the
Well,
first thing he
why-
does. He's the one
But-
who gets nostalgia and gives you what you want.
I told you guys 4
He-
years
he
ago
did
he should
Heroes
do
Reborn.
Star Wars, and here we are
Heroes
today.
Reborn.
So
You guys not
Yeah.
heard of Heroes Reborn?
Yeah, I have heard of it, but I haven't watched
Heroes
it.
Reborn, the TV series, is continued on from the previous series.
I don't know why. They should have let that die. They should have let that series die. let's not get off topic, but this.
Let's wrap this up.
Yeah, got any other final thought? I think we spoke about all the characters. We spoke about John Boyega. He's good overall.
Oh yeah.
To be honest with you, I liked him. I don't want to say any more. That you guys said they wish he had more to do. I was surprised they gave him as much as
Yeah,
they
I
did.
thought-
I really am.
I thought he was the main character, so I was surprised the girl had so much.
Oh, come on, man. I'm not being racist, but he ain't gonna be no main character. Come on now.
He had the lightsaber, so I really thought he was gonna fight the villain.
Yeah,
at
so
the
does
end.
she actually. She has that sort of. Like,
They both have
stick
one.
thing that
They both
sort of
have
lightsaber
one.
thing.
It's actually ironic. You never
that's-
realize in the posters they have the same. They're using the same one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did
It's
it
a
in the
nice
poster.
thing they kept.
Set up.
Yeah.
I'm interested. I'm really interested to see how they develop those two characters, because I still honestly believe that they're going to do something twisted.
Do you like romantic? Do you like the romantic angle with that?
I don't mind.
The whole
Doesn't bother me.
storyline is the twins, isn't
It
it?
doesn't bother me. I'm just
Kylo
interested
Ren
to
is
see
what
what
turns
they're
out to
going
be
to
a
do
problem.
with
That's
the two
why I
of them.
reckon-
Because I
That's
honestly
good, that'd be
thought
shit.
the
I'm
Force
sorry.
Awakens
That would
is
be
very
shit.
hard
That's
landing.
what
That was my line of
She's got
thinking.
Yeah.
everything. You guys
No,
have just
not that
talked
there
about how
wasn't a
superpowered
bad,
she
there
is.
wasn't another
The only
evil,
way
but I
that
honestly
really
felt
makes
that the
sense
Force
is if
Awakens
she
did
is
both of them.
Mm.
And it was interesting
or
how
she's somehow
effectively
related
he's on the
to the
dark
Skywalkers.
side.
Because if
The
you
Force
follow the
Awakens in
Skywalkers,
him
you've got
doing
Anakin
something against
Skywalker, great
what he's been
pilot,
programmed to do.
superpowered,
So,
you know,
yeah.
Jedi,
Yeah.
turns evil. You've got Luke Skywalker, great pilot, superpowered, has the opportunity to turn evil.
Oh, you're talking about Anakin and Luke.
Luke, yeah. So it only really makes sense if she's.
Yeah, she probably is, but
That's what I'm saying,
that's lazy writing. Like,
Well, Kat, did anybody like the actor who played the villain? Like his take on the villain?
Which one? Kylo Ren.
yeah, he was cool when he
Adam
took the mask-
Driver.
took the mask off. Like,
Everything went to shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? First of all,
The Bane thing.
Go on.
Yeah.
And then he took it off. He was like,
no, that was
"Hey, I'm a
good.
hipster."
People complain about him, but
It's
one,
alright.
I think he was very good because he had the look they like. He was disturbing. That scene when he was,
the good-looking ugly guy.
yeah. But not
Yeah.
only that, he's from Girls. I don't know if you guys even give a shit about that. But
Oh,
basically,
yeah,
when he's trying to force whatever her name is, the main girl.
Yeah.
There's a bit where he's talking to her, he's like, oh, yeah, you're thinking about that. It's kind of disturbing, and then obviously she comes back at him. That's what they want, and then from that point on, I like the fact he kind of kept it off. They were like, take it off, keep it off,
Yeah, you might as well keep it off.
instead of the Vader thing.
He's ruined
That's
it
why
when
he
he
got
yeah,
the
he took it off,
scar.
yeah.
Like, that's the whole point, isn't it? Why he got the scar? Because I suppose.
Now they're Vadering him.
Yeah.
Now they're Vadering
Oh
him.
yeah. That's why he had it on because he couldn't breathe with nothing really about it.
And obviously,
Yeah.
do you guys remember the bit?
I'm a man.
Yeah. He was shot, and he was just pumping. It was funny. I was like, that's kind of funny.
I wish somebody would. Why do you keep doing that for? Like,
Yeah.
He's a bit of a bitch. He's a weird little bitch. Yeah.
he's a pussy. Yeah, that means he's got daddy issues.
I'm going to be honest.
Go on, Noy.
I didn't believe his performance.
Oh, people don't. There's people that didn't like his performance. There's a lot of people that didn't. They thought it was a bit over the top.
It's not even just that, because like I was sort of talking about in the car, and even like what John Boyega was saying on the interview that I watched.
Elaborate. So
The language of Star Wars is effectively Shakespearean. So if anyone's ever read Shakespeare, any sort of Shakespeare, and you go back and you watch Star Wars, the way in which they talk is very much Shakespeare on film. And the accents, when it comes to like the American accents, for example, they're not your standard American. They're more like your transatlantic, which is more like old school. Go back to sort of like the 1930s, 1940s, like Casablanca, that kind of time. If you listen to their American accents, is not what they sound like now.
Larger than life character.
Exactly. So, but it wasn't even that he was. So that didn't bother me so much. I didn't believe his conflict.
But isn't is that his fault though? Is that the writing though? Really? Because we don't know why he's that way. We just hear him complain.
Yeah.
Why is he such another Darth Vader? He's not even alive. How can you even relate to him? It doesn't make any sense.
But for me,
It's a melted helmet.
For me, I just didn't believe his conflict.
We need to see that. Yeah, we need to see more on that. I hear what you're saying, but I think we need to see more about
For
that.
me, it's the responsibility yeah, there is writing, but as
Yeah.
an actor, it is your responsibility
Ouch.
to bring something to the table and to connect with what is going on, and obviously
Ooh.
do your research or whatever.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta-
kind of harsh. That's
Do
kind of
not
harsh.
Yeah,
believe
that's
his
kinda-
performance. Do not believe his
Fair enough.
Yeah,
at all.
why
I'm not saying it's a bad actor.
No, no, I hear
I'm
you.
just saying, you know, I didn't believe it at all.
Well, you gotta work with what you get.
That's come out of left field.
I appreciate that because
Yeah,
some people said that with it, not just you. There's a lot of people that said that they thought he just.
Well, you're an actor, yeah, so you probably, you probably sit.
Let me put it into perspective for you, right? For me, you're gonna go, oh my god. For me, I felt like his character was trying to be Tom Hiddleston as Loki from the Avengers.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think so.
Their look is very, very similar.
Their look is similar.
Very, very
Yeah, their look is similar.
But what, and for me, I mean, I don't know much about his backstory, but if they had that same kind of like, you know, daddy issues, mummy issues, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know the backstory of Thor and Loki when I watched the Avengers.
Yeah, but
But I believe Tom
Yeah.
Hiddleston's
Well,
Okay, that's a good point.
the way it was written, Loki is a trickster in like Norse mythology and stuff, and he's like, he was sort of like funny, and he was like light-hearted.
He has got a bit more
This
personality.
guy isn't. The guy in Star Wars, this guy's light-hearted at all.
He's
Maybe
flat.
He would have been better if he made a few jokes or something. Or if he's a bit more light-hearted, you know.
Yeah.
And then you could see, as I said before, you can see when he's angry. I went like, no, it's more scary, a villain like the Joker.
Yeah.
That takes the piss and it's funny.
Oh yeah,
Christopher
all different
Walken-
villain in Star Wars.
Yeah.
Christopher Walken's an awesome villain because usually when he plays it, he's psychotic.
Yeah, psychotic.
You can
also,
see
yeah.
he smiles when he's killing people and
Yeah,
all that
exactly.
sort of thing. Yeah.
I agree with you.
A
The
false sense
writing,
of
the writing
security,
has a lot to
yeah.
do with it.
But then to defend Ori on that, let me just say Darth Vader was kind of one note as well. He didn't make any jokes. But he had a very
He was
cool.
putting up the presence, man, that voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one talks shit to him, really.
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
carried the
the
presence.
thing is, for
General
me,
Hawks
is
talk shit to him so much.
I agree with what you're saying about the writing and stuff. Like, I completely agree with it.
Mm.
But it's like, I still believe it's up to the actor. Because for me, for example, Jack Nicholson smacked it as the Joker in the Tim Burton movies.
Yeah.
But Heath Ledger smacked it as the Joker. And
Yeah.
what do those characters, apart from playing the Joker, what do they have in common? They both did some for me, they did some sort of research and they did
I
some
don't
sort of
think Jack Nicholson
connection.
did. He just
They
did
did
it.
some sort of connection
He was
with the
the
character.
Jack Nicholson will do research. He's just like, yeah, I'll do that.
And they brought something they just brought something to the table that made you read
Something
it.
different.
Yeah, made the character, their character.
You
yeah.
can watch
Well-
both and love them both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
This guy-
Oh, you know what? Actually, I've got to bring something else up. We got to wrap this up because we coming to an hourish. But what I will say is, great point by the way. And you obviously defend your point fine. There was a character in this movie. There's actually a special character. I'll tell you guys about in a minute. But there was a character that was meant to be a big deal. Had a lot of merchandising for. Completely written out. Do you know who Captain Phasma was in that movie?
No.
Oh, the British, like, I mean, the female.
You know who she's the Game of Thrones chick?
With the cool.
Oh yeah, her.
Oh yeah, the weird approach.
Yeah, she was actually meant to have a bigger part in the movie.
Brienne.
Brienne
Yeah.
Clark,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? That was her.
she was there. That was her.
Yeah, I knew it was her.
And they never
Oh,
did.
she did though.
A lot of people complained. She's not dead. They made a joke about it. The last thing you saw was when Tim was like, "Yeah, we should put her in the shoot."
Yeah.
That was the last one. Remember that you didn't. That was it.
Like, is she dead? Did they do
They didn't do anything with her,
See, I thought.
and she was meant to be a big deal.
Yeah, I thought that one of because we have two big
Nice.
characters. One of them is gonna fight her one-on-one in the end, the final conflict. I thought John Boyega is gonna fight her one-on-one.
Yeah.
Do you know when John Boyega had that when he got lightsaber first, and he
That
fought that
guy,
stormtrooper
yeah,
who had the
yeah,
thing?
it should have been her.
People said that should have been her,
Yeah.
and they showed the confrontation
Yeah.
because she had nothing to do in the movie, and she's a and everyone was looking.
Some guy who.
People were looking forward to her. She had interviews. She looks different. She had a particular suit.
And there's a female stormtrooper.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was toys sold of her. They were hyping her up to be a big deal, and they just,
Yeah.
Wow.
She looked cool.
I mean, one of the
Really nice
stormtroopers was
outfit, yeah.
Daniel Craig.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's what I was gonna tell you. Do you know who it was?
Yeah.
Who was it?
The one who.
The one
That's
you released
trailer.
her.
Because I gave you, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realise that at all.
Oh, was it?
The one you released her, the one you
The one that-
the Titans in
Yeah.
Shackles, yeah, that was Daniel Craig.
Oh really?
Yeah, that was
What's
Daniel
the
Craig.
point?
Yeah.
He was
Just
shooting.
show it off,
He
right?
was shooting Bond at the same time, and he went over, and he just did a day.
No one will ever know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So let's wrap it up. Any final thoughts on the movie? Oh, actually, I got a good way to wrap it up. So the movie ended, and they're leading on to episode 8. You guys happy for it? From what you've seen, how do you
Yeah,
feel
I
about
enjoyed it. I enjoyed
where they're
it.
going with episode 8?
It's alright. It is what it is.
They're gonna start filming, I think, in February, believe it or not. January, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I thought it was good, man. I thought it was good. That's-
It is what it is, really.
You guys excited for the next episode?
I'm never excited for Star Wars, but I'd go watch it.
You're Western Simon thing, you know that, right?
Yeah, I'm never a Star Wars fan, but even Avengers, I'm not excited for. I'll go and watch it.
Fair enough.
Alright,
fair
you
enough.
like watching porn. Okay, next.
Get excited for porn.
I'm excited for it. You'll see that in a minute.
I'm really looking
The Force Will
forward
Lie,
to the
I'll
next
say
one
that.
because I felt that there was a lot of questions that were unanswered. I felt that there was I had a lot more questions to do with both of the main characters' backstories, but also to see how they would be developed as characters,
Mhm.
and in terms of their connection with the Force.
Mhm.
Daisy Ridley's obvious connection was very obvious with
Oh, yeah.
her character. But I really, truly, I don't know what it is, but my brain will not believe that, for some reason, Finn won't develop in some way
Okay.
and have a connection. I don't know what. I think it's possibly because the way he's been marketed, like John Boyega.
I hope so. He had a lightsaber in his hand twice.
Yeah,
Oh,
Jimmy.
yeah.
He had a
Jimmy.
lightsaber
He should be a
twice.
Jedi in the next
They should give him some force. I wouldn't mind seeing it.
They
And
should
some.
show that the
they should-
Force can be used by, if you train them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
They
they're
should-
naturally good
they
enough,
should give
then
him
you
a-
can do it straight away.
They
That
should-
woman
they-
did
they-
say everyone has a force in them, by the way. She
Yeah,
said
yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
connected.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't leave it to just
Yeah.
the Skywalkers. That's just lame.
They should give him a black lightsaber that's just slightly longer than everybody else.
You
Oh,
piece
God.
of shit. You just had to throw it in there, didn't
just 4 inches longer than the other guy. Yeah.
you? You are a real piece of shit.
So yeah, I
It's
am
called the
excited for the
Mexican
next
stew,
one.
so-
I am excited.
Come on, John. What do you guys got any final thoughts to wrap it up? Your thoughts, episode 8 coming up, and then Chris and William.
You know, there's a lot I could say about this film. I have a lot on my mind as well, but it's going to take way too long to actually listen.
You didn't say anything, you know that, right? You didn't say anything. I'm sorry, Chris. I'm sorry. You're a man of few words.
You're like the fucking Luke Skywalker.
You are. Just get in the hood. Next anime convention, you need to wear that. You can wear it. You can pull it off. Anime convention, you can come off the Luke Skywalker.
It's an interesting film. It's interesting to see, especially how far we've come with heroes and villains these days. I mean,
Sure.
now you've got a black hero with a female lead facing a white guy with a cross. You know.
Nice. You see, he don't talk much. He doesn't talk much, and when he does, look at that.
You got a white woman, black man.
And
I think you're the first one that found it out, Chris.
there's a lot of things I did think there's still plot points. There's a whole load of shit that's probably going to be covered, like you said, in a cartoon.
Just wait for a cartoon.
Yeah, like you said, there's a lot of stuff that's not explained, and it kind of annoyed me. Like, what was this ship that they landed in on the Millennium Falcon? And Solo and Chewie just there.
Oh yeah, that was funny actually.
Was that an evil ship?
It was
Yeah.
because they thought they got captured by the First Order.
Mad Dog from the Raid's in it, right?
Yeah,
I was like,
Like, they show up, like, oh hey you guys, and then you guys, it's like
Yeah.
Anchorman, like everyone's coming in. But other than that, no, I did his job. You know, what you need to do.
All right, you're looking forward to episode 8, and
Yeah, choo-choo.
Marty, what thoughts?
It is what it is. It was better than I expected it to be.
Yeah.
I suppose I'm looking forward to the 8th one. I just hope they step up their game a bit. That's all.
Yeah, and William, sorry, do you have any more to say? That was
That's it.
right. Well,
Man, I think people pretty much summed it up perfectly. It was, I enjoyed it. I'm not a Star Wars fan, but I was sitting there like, you know what? This is good. I don't think you need to watch the originals to enjoy this one. I think you can go in fresh.
Oh yeah.
Watch it.
This was made, to be honest, as a reboot. It's made for more people who haven't seen Star Wars.
Yeah.
The only thing you're going to be a bit, if you don't know Harrison Ford's character, you might be a bit okay.
Yeah.
You won't feel any impact of that. Other than that, I think this is, for me, it was one of the best adventure movies, just general movies of the year. It was. It was.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It was gonna be good. It's not gonna be terrible.
It's very high quality filmmaking. I mean,
Yeah.
with all that money, but yeah.
Yeah, so we all enjoyed it, guys. If you watched the hour through this video, we did bitch for most of it. But what you got to realize, and a lot of people have said this, people bitch about things they care about, things they enjoy.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't have been talking for it about an hour if we didn't fucking like it.
Yeah.
And I liked it for the most part. I really did.
My sister was brought up on Star Wars,
Yeah.
so this
Yeah.
is, we kind of hit home. That's why I said I didn't have a lot of expectations for it
Mm.
because the very fact they brought out a seventh movie, like, that was really stretching it. It could have gone. It could have been complete and utter shit.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy in that sense that it was all right.
Yeah.
Like,
It wasn't going to be shit because the prequels, people hated it. They were going to.
They played it safe. They
So, to make
yeah.
it safe, they went, okay, let's go. Remake
This was the
first.
safest. And if I'm going to be critical, honestly, I don't see them straying too far from here. I don't see them getting much deeper. I see a lot of this whole thing, even though it's a different director. Next time, it's not J.B. Evans, it's another guy. I can't remember his name was, but
He did Brick with Joseph.
Brick, which
Yeah.
is an amazing movie.
okay. Well, there you go. A lot more creative. We might get something. We might get a pleasant surprise. Now they've got the money, the billions across them worldwide.
Yeah.
We might go into a whole new adventure, and I think it's going to come out in 2017. They want these quick anyway.
Yeah.
But
And then the third director will be the guy that directed Jurassic World.
Yeah, that's gonna be that's gonna be the shit one.
that's going to be Return of the Jedi too.
yeah, but I bet it's still better than the prequels.
Yeah.
We shall.
All right, guys. Just to wrap up, just for fun, give us some random names for episode 8.
Oh, space taxes and more Ewoks.
Next.
Jar Jar Binks is a Sith Lord.
The Return of Jar Jar.
Yeah,
Is that episode 8?
That'd be cool, man. If it was just badass, didn't say a word, just like chopping down.
Yeah.
I would love it. Go on, you guys.
Bring back Han Solo and fix the fucking death scene. Like, show them together and like raising their damn kid. Bring back Han Solo somehow.
I just want Harrison Ford to do the flashbacks. But come on, the names for episode 8. Any names for episode 8?
The reintroduction of the droids from like the Revenge of the Sith and before them. They never actually explained what the hell they did with the droids. From like the Phantom Menace, the Attack on Clones, they never explained what the hell they did with the droids that were working for.
Oh, in the first
The first two.
Yeah.
They never explained. What
Guys, the titles. Don't get off topic.
titles.
Yeah, episode 8 titles. I'm going to edit that shit because we're coming to the end. Over an hour now.
Oh shit.
I'll edit. Go on.
Should I go first? Okay. Star Wars Episode 8: Return of Han Solo.
That would be hilarious. You got any, John?
Come back to me now.
Come back to me.
Man, yo.
Go.
See, that shit is hard now.
I'm going to end it with his. If you guys don't come up with some good shit. Come on.
I've got no idea, man.
Alright, anything?
Star Wars Episode 8. Finn's Awakening or something.
No, another personal one. They're gonna call it something generic. What are the new bad guys? It's not the Empire. What are the new bad guys called?
The First Order.
It's
racial love.
It's gonna be
Terrible.
something like the Order.
Chicks.
The Return of the First Order. Some bullshit like that.
It's gonna be the dark side of the Order or something.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Order. Or a lot of people a lot of people speculate that the next episode is going to be Rey on her training and this guy on his trainings.
The Order
Force
Strikes Back.
Awakens, Force Rises, Force Returns, Revenge of the Force.
Yeah, they're going to do that Dark Knight Rises 2 shit, you know.
The
Dawn
Order
of
Strikes
the
Back.
Force,
The First Order Strikes Back or something
Forcing.
Forcing the sequel.
Just forcing it.
Oh, and you can bet your right eye that Luke Skywalker is going to be on this front now. He's going to be one of the big pictures right on the front.
And then
The Return of Luke, some shit like that.
And then they're gonna kill his ass too.
Yeah, of course, they'll kill him at the end of the
Yeah, he'll die. He will die. He will die. Either if not the second one, the last one, he will die.
It would have made sense for his character because he was ready to move on.
True. But anyway, guys, let's wrap it up, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. We came on this long. Thank you, and we'll see you on episode 8. Yeah, this was goddamn long. See ya.
May the force be with you.
No.